you to win.
All right. Okay. So before we get started with the show, I can't talk right now. Maybe that's because it's 1 a.m. in the morning, and I decided to go ahead and shoot record a podcast. But I just want to let everybody know about Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout is a wonderful podcast hosting company that we at So Gaming utilize to help bring our episodes to you. The process of launching, promoting, and tracking our podcast statistics has been nothing but easy from the start. And they also offer a multitude of guides to get your podcast going in the right direction, as well as sponsorship options through partners such as Podcorn to move you in the right direction of monetizing your content. Join over 100,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout, like the So Gaming Podcast. And use that to go ahead and get your message out to the world. So be sure to check out our affiliate link at www.soegaming.com and get a $20 Amazon gift card after your second paid invoice. And if you don't believe me, you can definitely hit up the Mysteriocities Podcast. Those girls know that it is the real deal. Okay, give me 1 second. We'll go ahead and get on with the show. All right, so hey everyone, if you've ever gotten so frustrated with a video game to the point where you rage quit, let off an F-bomb, or even threw your controller or mouse, go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're listening to this podcast episode on whatever streaming platform you're doing, go ahead and hit the follow button, because why not? That way you know whenever a new episode comes out, and you can go ahead and listen to me rant with myself or a guest for 30 to 40 minutes. And anyways, so I'm Alex, and you're listening to the So Gaming Podcast.
Press start.
Anyways, the title of this episode, it's going to be called Caustic. I don't know. Maybe it'll be caustic. Maybe it'll be causticity. But pretty much what we're going to talk about in this episode is toxicity in video gaming. I mean, and it might spread out among different things, but pretty much I kind of want to go over, I guess you can call it levels of toxicity, toxicity towards people, maybe toxicity that kind of you might just do it internally, but you might exclaim it. You might not be directing your toxicity at people, but things you might say still might be affecting them, because they might be like, man, why is this person saying that? Like, that's ridiculous. Do I want to be associated with this person anymore? I don't know. But we're going to talk about things like that, and I'm going to talk about like my own personal experiences of, I guess you can say, toxicity, because I've been toxic. I'm still toxic. I guess I'm caustic, but we're gonna go ahead and talk about that, because I can think of a story like right off the bat, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it, because man, I used to be definitely toxic. Either way, so this is probably gonna be the first episode for season 3, and man, I've been on a hiatus. I've been so busy with my IRL job. I work as an operations manager for a company called Micro Center, and in my job, I gotta manage a lot of things. And one of the big time duties I do once a year is create the budget for our department. And technically, it's overseeing two separate departments. So I actually got to write two different budget plans, and it gets really hectic sometimes, and the days get long, and it doesn't necessarily allow me to have the time to plan out podcasts and reach out to potential guests and then figure out a perfect time for when we can record, whether it is a live recording session or whether it is a an offline recording session. But either way, it can as of right now, it's definitely posing its challenges. Fortunately, I do have some great support, primarily from the Arctic Ace group, Arctic Ace Esports. Make sure you guys definitely check them out. Those links will be in the description of the podcast as well as the YouTube video. And they're an organization that is based in Northeast Canada, and they have teams for Counter-Strike. They have teams for Valorant, Apex, I believe. I think Super Smash Brothers. But I mean, esports is pretty big. But I'm happy to be a part of that. Their CEO Nano Skagen, he's been very integral with trying to help get guests on the show, and I know he's been trying to help me get more scheduling done. So I pretty much just gave him my calendar, and I'm like, here's my calendar. Find a day and book it up. Throw them on the guest list. And some cool news coming from for Arctic Ace Esports. There's a Counter-Strike Global Offensive or CS:GO tournament that's coming up. In September. I believe it's the 9th through the 11th, and it's called Fragadelphia. And it's one of the bigger, like, BYO. Well, I guess it's not really BYOPC, but it's one of the bigger lands in North America. And I'm excited because I actually got invited to go. So I'm pretty much going to go and head out to Philadelphia early September and hang out with their CS:GO team, pretty much vlog the event, and it's gonna be a great time. I wish I could cast it. That'd be wonderful. If they let me guest cast the event, because that would be so cool. And then in other news, with Arctic Ace Esports, for their Counter-Strike Global Offensive team, their CS:GO team, their season for ESEA, which they're in ESEA Advanced, they're in the Advanced League, which is amazing. That starts, I believe, this Monday. Which this Monday will be the 8th, and we have some matches coming up, and me and Chili Chew will be definitely casting the hell out of it. I have to do some testing today to go ahead and pretty much put together a package where we can stream it and throw sponsorship, things like that, all the shebang, but. It's gonna be interesting. I'm very excited to get back into that. I love casting, and it's gonna be a great opportunity. But in other news, if we get back to topic, that's pretty much why I've been on a hiatus, and it's about to get really busy for me. So, and especially with CS:GO going on, it's definitely gonna be busy. And then yeah, that's pretty much that. Anyways, toxicity. Causticity. That's going to be really hard to say. I'm not sure if I can keep saying causticity, but either way. Toxicity in video games. There's a whole multitude of levels, I feel like, for toxicity. I mean, you can have a level of toxicity when you're playing, let's say, a first-person shooter game, like Apex Legends, for example. Apex Legends... and a lot of other first-person shooters, you can do what is called a teabag motion, right? And in that motion, you pretty much just repeatedly hit the crouch button to where your character goes up and down and up and down and up and down on top of a character they've defeated or killed in the game. And it is a behavior that has been around since probably the first-person shooter came out, the late 1990s. I mean, I've done the teabagging motion. I still do. It's just because it's funny as fuck to me. And uh, I remember doing it in Medal of Honor Allied Assault. I remember doing it in the very first Call of Duty United Offensive, Call of Duty 2, like pretty much all the Call of Duties until like Modern Warfare 2, because I stopped playing Call of Duty after that game because it kind of just like it was just rinse and wash and repeat, or whatever that phrase is. Can't think of it off the top of my head, but yeah, freaking teabagging. It's been around forever. Shooting dead bodies. That is what is probably considered BM, or bad manners. That is a behavior that's also been around probably just as long as teabagging. And dude, I think it's funny as hell, because I remember watching a Counter-Strike tournament, and the thing is, with esports in the direction it's going, people want to try to keep a very professional manner, just like you would see in regular sports. And sports, I mean, even in football, for example, they have had to tone down the level of celebrations in the end zone, like for football, for example, and like there are certain, like, I guess celebrations not even allowed to do because maybe they just look very derogatory or they're inappropriate. So you can't even do that anymore. So you got to kind of keep it like, funny, but like some people, they'll go ahead and run up and pretend they are dunking on, like, playing basketball, but they're actually taking the football and dunking it over the goalpost. There are some people that just do regular dances in the end zone. Those are all, I guess, what people would consider appropriate. But then you have this one character. This one defensive lineman. I think that's what they're called. They're like right at the edge. Like as soon as the ball says hut, they try to rush the quarterback. They're literally at the line. And there's this player who goes by the name of Joey Bosa. He went to Ohio State, the Ohio State University, and he actually got drafted by the Los Angeles Chargers. Actually, I think when he got drafted, I think they were the San Diego Chargers still, but then the San Diego Chargers moved to Los Angeles. And this guy is actually a huge gamer. He is huge into like the Dark Souls games, and you can tell because like I was listening to some of his mic'd ups, because I think it's called sound effects. If you look up NFL sound effects on YouTube or mic'd up NFL, you'll get a lot of videos that actually show what the players are actually saying while they're playing games. And this dude, Joey Bosa, was literally like, "Praise the sun," which apparently is a big phrase in Dark Souls. And I guess that kind of reference has been going over a lot of people's head, unless you're like a gamer. I think Joey Bosa also plays Warzone. He plays some first-person shooters. I just don't know what it is. Might be Battlefield, might be Call of Duty. I don't know. But either way, he did the teabagging motion during a football game. I guess he said, "If I sack the quarterback, I'm gonna do the teabagging motion. I'm probably gonna get yelled at by the ref." And the ref didn't even know what the hell it was. Like the casters didn't know what the hell he was doing. So he sacks the quarterback, runs probably like 5 yards to the right, not on top of the quarterback, obviously, because then it's like, oh, what the hell are you doing? The quarterback probably would have swung on him, and then Joey Bosa would have probably swung back, and it probably would have been a huge fight. But Joey Bosa walks over to the side and then starts going up and down, and then he even goes all the way prone, which is another thing, like another addition to the teabagging, and then goes all the way back up. And I'm just like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Is he really teabagging right now? That's so crazy. So he actually did it, and I just thought that was so funny. But yeah, toxic behavior. Don't do that. Just kidding. Do it. Do all you want. I don't care. There was some controversy that occurred that had to do with teabagging recently. Teabagging own teammates. Okay, so this is from win.gg. They looks like they did a pretty decent article on it, but pretty much 8-time Predators Dilly was competing in the Fate Legion tournament when he made the fateful decision to teabag his own teammate. And when that occurred, the event organizers of the EOs, they decided to go ahead and disqualify him. And we're going to have an episode this season. We're going to bring Nano Skygan on the show to spill some more tea regarding that. But essentially the TLDR is Fate Legion used to be also known as Figure 8 Esports, which Nano Skygan was associated with. And it's just very ridiculous on the fact that they decided to go ahead and ban this dude, and like it was just such a huge controversy, an enormous controversy, and I'm just over here like, dude, who gives a shit? Like, it was his own teammate, and like he wasn't even disrespecting the other team, but I mean, they decided to go ahead and disqualify him anyways. That I thought was so ridiculous. And apparently during the live like recording, he's just like, oh no, that's BM. No, he's done. What? Are you kidding me? Like, you have Team Liquid, which is one of my favorite esports organizations. Huge fan of their Counter-Strike team and their roster. In 2019, when they were just going absolutely off, they were going off on every team that they faced through like a period of like 90 days or something like that. Won the Intel Grand Slam in a record amount of time, which in the Intel Grand Slam, you have to win 4 Grand Slam events before anyone else, and then if you win, you get $1 million. And some people say it's even more prestigious than the CS:GO major, but I mean, sadly, those Team Liquid folks, except for Stewie TK, they don't have a major title under their belts. Well, Stewie has his own from a different organization. Twist, who was on Team Liquid, who went to FaZe Clan, now has his own major title. But either way, continuing forward, or going back to the that period where they won the Grand Slam, there was a lot of BM from Team Liquid, and it was like, and the thing is, everyone loved it a lot. Well, at least I'm not gonna say everyone, but a lot of people loved it, including the casters. The casters are all like, "Man, we love seeing the teabag. No one ever does that anymore." I'm like, that's the whole, like, that's the game. Like, that's just having some good old fun and getting in the other players' heads, shooting the dead bodies after they erect them, putting like sprays right next to them, like the disrespect, just the mind games. I mean, that's another level of toxicity. I mean, talking shit to the other team, like, you might be toxic, but if you're just trying to use that like to get in the other team and make them like make mistakes and whatnot. I mean, for me, I think that's an acceptable level of toxicity, depending on how you do it. You always have the most toxic person on the team. That's the bottom fragger. They're always the one that's just trying to talk crap to the other team because they're not landing any of their shots. So what's the next thing they have to do? They have to go ahead and, try to contribute somewhere else, and that's try to go ahead and distract the other team and get in their heads. Oh my God, I'm looking at an ad really quick. Sorry, there's like an ad on this page, and it's like Star Fox, except like all great graphics, and I really want to play it right now. It looks really cool. But anyways, yeah, there's that level of toxicity, like the mind games kind of level of toxicity, and then there's a level like toxicity that happens against your own team, and I am 100% guilty of this. Like, when I got into Counter-Strike 2016, met a lot of friends, like Shayla. I've known Shayla since 2016, so we've known each other for almost 6 years on the dot now. And I met my one of my good friends, Gaming Gas, who works for me. We played Counter-Strike together. My best friend, Saracen, or Trace, we started playing Counter-Strike 2016 and pretty much built this huge community that was mainly based around Counter-Strike. We played some other games. Eventually, League of Legends kind of fell in there. More recently, it's been Apex Legends. But, I mean, we all started at like the similar level. We are kind of like, we're all like Silver Elite Master, And I got so addicted to the video game. I got so addicted to Counter-Strike. And I just started like I started progressing. Like I'd watch videos like to try to help myself improve. And I haven't done that forever personally. Like recently, I hardly ever watch videos or game updates or read the updates about games that show like patch notes and things like that. Something that I need to do more often. But I've been when I was playing Counter Strike in 2016, 2017, I started to progress really quick. I got pretty decent at the game, like above average. I wasn't like the best or anything like that. Never reached that, but um, I was started becoming toxic. Now, in the level of toxicity I had, it wasn't like fucking cursing out people or like insulting them, like calling anyone derogatory terms or anything like that. It was more of it kind I guess the toxicity I had was kind of more of making them feel guilty um, for maybe not watching a corner and then backseat gaming, trying to tell someone exactly what to do. And then if we failed to win a round, um, I personally would not take the blame as much as I probably should have, depending on what the situation is. I would, or I would just like be quiet and just not say anything. If we lost a round, I'd be very passive aggressive. And it's something that I definitely have been working on more so since 2018, because 2016 through 2018, like that was just like peak Arrow. When I used to go by the name Arrow, that was like peak me, Counter Strike. That's all I really played, and got into leagues, tried to improve my skill level, and it kind of sucked though because I feel like I did, I would be in a position where people would not want to play games with me as much. And I I was thinking about this and the other day, and I'm thinking I wonder what would have happened if I did not play with my friends, because that was the other level of it. That was the other thing of it, is I always wanted to play video games with my friends, but when I surpassed them in skill level, like while I was trying to go ahead and help them also grow, um, it was not fast enough for me. And there were some individuals in our group that did continue on that kind of same level path with me, that we continue to climb the ranks in Counter Strike. We got the Gold Nova, got to Master Guardian, and then I got to Master Guardian Elite and MGE, and that was like the highest rank I've ever achieved. And once I got there, I I peaked. And the thing is, I don't think I should have peaked right there. I think I could have continued um, going higher in skill level, because like the group I started playing with, it was like, hold on, let me see if I can imitate a graph. So skill level, okay, this is me, and then here's our group that we played with. We got to silver elite master, maybe gold level one, and then some of them kind of flatlined there, and I kept going. And then there was a couple people that were with me, and then like higher levels of gold nova, and then kept going up. Some people started flatlining, and then I kept going up MGE, and then I flatlined, and then all the people that might have been with me also flatlined. And I always wonder if I continued to watch videos to try to help me improve myself, if I did more aim training, I solo queued maybe, because solo queuing, honestly, very important, because you may run into people that are actually just straight up better than you, which happens a lot. And even they might be more toxic than you too. Or and I'm fairly certain that's also something that I didn't want to have to deal with, because I feel like I always lashed out on my teammates. Even like I lashed out on my teammates way more than I ever lashed out on the other team. I hardly ever really talked shit to the other team, but my toxicity was always on my teammates. And again, I mean, that is one level of toxicity that is very prevalent amongst, I want to say, any friend group. But yeah, more recently, I've been very chill. I mean, all I do is this podcast and then work and then just play video games in my free time. Go to the range here and there, but yeah. Anyways, there are the bullying aspects of toxicity, and my friend Andotsky knows that I used to be very, 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 very mean back in like 2012. I want to say 2012, 2011. I remember there was this one time we were playing. We were in a gaming clan. We were in this milsim unit called the 26 MEU, based on the real 26 MEU, or Marine Expeditionary Unit, and we played it. We played this mod for Battlefield 2 called Project Reality, and if you know what Project Reality is, make sure you go ahead and comment on the Instagram post that I will post regarding this toxicity stuff, and let me know that you've played it, because we probably honestly crossed paths at some point, because the player base wasn't huge, so a lot of people would always run into each other. But we played Project Reality, but again, we were a gaming clan, so while Project Reality was the primary game we played, that we still played other games on the side. And one game we played was a title called War Thunder. And War Thunder is it's like a flight simulator to an extent, but pretty much it's like a combat flight simulator with like planes going as old as the biplanes from like World War One, all the way, I believe, more recently to like the first jet fighters, like the F4 Phantom. But I remember me and Andotsky, we were just like minding our own business. We were in TeamSpeak and we were flying and going on a patrol mission. Like we were trying to dogfight on War Thunder. We had our P-51s or whatever plane we decided to fly in. And all of a sudden, this one kid who I can't remember his name, he is a squeaker, but he hopped in and he started talking to us. And I just remember being super, super mean to him. I called him like an idiot or something like that. And God, I don't know why I'm laughing at it. It's so mean, but like I remember Andotsky thought it was the funniest thing ever. He clipped it, like it's forever on the internet. And maybe I'll find the video. You can see the level of like immaturity I was against immaturity. But I was very toxic back in the day. But yeah, other levels of toxicity. There are some extreme levels. Being a bigot, bigotry, sexism, racism. Those are all also levels of toxicity. And I think that's such a weird thing when it comes to the online gaming world, because you're hopping online, you have a gaming alias, but for the most part, you can be very anonymous unless you're putting your actual name or advertising, your Twitch stream. And if you're being a bigot or you're being sexist while Twitch streaming, then I hope your career is short-lived. But yeah, I mean, being like anonymous like that and reciting dead memes or things like that, I think that's, I don't know. I think it's a level of toxicity that you might as well just stay anonymous. I mean, if that is like there are some people where that might be like online gaming might be their way to vent after a day, or it might be their way to go ahead and get their, I don't know, phrases that you're not allowed to say in public out anonymously into the world. We had our community. We had this guy. I'm not gonna say his name, but he played Counter-Strike with us, and he was incredibly toxic, like way more toxic than I was. Like now I would like be frustrated with my teammates, but this guy would straight up he would literally like type in chat, like, so it's even in transcript saying like, wow, fucking idiot, why didn't you like back me up like when I was gonna go and push this forward, or why the fuck weren't you watching this corner? Like, I'm just like, damn, that's fucked up. That's very fucked up. But this guy was so toxic, and he was saying like borderline racist shit. And I remember we just ended up kicking him out of our community. Like, he would say the N-word, except replace the G's with B's. And I'm all like, no, you know what the fuck you're saying, dude. You're fucking racist. You're being racist. You're just trying to fucking make it a technicality. No, we didn't want to deal with that shit. We kicked him out, and then he actually ended up he tried so hard to get back in our community. He even wrote like an NBA format essay saying why he should be let in, why he's apologizing. And in the end run, it was just like, no, sorry, we're not gonna tolerate this. I mean, we gave you more than enough chances. We tried to like, give you feedback on, what you can do to change, but there was no change there. After that, I actually ran into this person because he was also a Team Liquid fan, and I remember he freaking like went out of his way to talk shit to me. Like, I blocked him on Twitter, and then he literally went on another Twitter account just to continue talking shit to me. I'm like, okay, guy, like, what the fuck ever, dude. Like, you can keep saying all this shit, I really don't care, but I can tell you didn't change. Which is interesting because there are some people where I've been trying to squash like vibes, because not vibes, but grudges, and I can hold a grudge, but I've been trying to squash grudges because, there's no reason to hold on to them. But this guy, I don't know, he's a different level. But yeah, that level of toxicity, being a racist or bigot, sexist, whatever, that is definitely lame. Speaking of that, by the way, there was a game dev platform called Unity. They actually ran a study, toxicity in video games. And I'll quote, "Toxicity also has an acute effect on women who play video games. The study found that men were more willing to engage in voice chat and other communication tools while playing games, and therefore experience toxic behavior more often. However, women often avoid online communication tools because of gendered abuse such as sexual harassment. Women who do participate, the study found, are more likely to stop playing a game because of such toxicity." Which, I mean, again, it's so weird because you have dudes that are trying so hard to find that, perfect partner for them, of the opposite gender, I guess you can say, that also enjoy video games and things like that. Yet you find that a lot of these people, a lot of these men behave in such like ways and say derogatory things, and then you wonder why no female wants to play video games with them, let alone date them. I don't know. So hopefully men, in continuing generations can be a little more respectful to women, and you can find that little bit of unity. Before we continue towards the ending portion of this podcast, I just want to talk about Headshot Energy. Headshot Energy is an energy formula like no other. It offers extreme mental focus, clarity, and mood enhancement, resulting in increased productivity and creativity. Headshot Energy also provides your daily vitamins and immune support to keep you on the top of your game with less downtime. It's unquestionably the ultimate energy formula without the crash, leading you to experience a feeling like you've never felt before. They currently have 2 delicious flavors, Blue Raz and Green Apple, available for purchase. You can help support Arctic Ace Esports and the So We Gaming Podcast by using the code Arctic Ace during checkout and get 10% off your order. But yeah, we're like the 35 minute mark right now. But again, I mean, for those that are listening to this episode, hopefully we can get some more episodes pumped out. I'm actually probably gonna go ahead and get this edited and released by tomorrow. Which again, tomorrow is actually it's Sunday, so tomorrow would be the 8th, Monday. On Monday, there is Arctic Ace, their CSGO team is starting the new advanced season. Let's see who they are playing against. They're playing against somebody. Oh, I literally just saw the thingy thing. I don't know where it went. I'm over here trying to look it up really quick. Clips? Rosters? Question mark? Scrim results? Oh, schedule? Oh, there we go. Budfly, one of the CSGO members, Monday, August 8th, they're going against All Gas, No Breaks at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're listening to this episode before then, definitely tune in to twitch.tv/Arctic Ace Esports. That way you can go ahead and listen to me and Chili Chew cast this match. It will be the season opener, and hopefully we win our season 42 opener. But definitely drop a follow on all of our social media, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, etc. All those links will be in the description. And again, thanks for listening to this podcast about some toxicity and some behaviors and all that crap. So don't be toxic. Don't be an asshole. And if you're gonna be toxic, be friendly toxic. Okay. All right. So we gaming. Bye.